Hello class, I wanted to welcome you to Math 137 this term, and also wanted to take a few minutes to show you around Canvas and what we need to do as we proceed with the semester. So I'm going to be cutting off the video right now, and I'm going to go into screen share mode and show you around Canvas a little bit. So the first thing you're going to want to do is go ahead and navigate to mycollege.laccd.edu, as you can see here. And when you do, you're going to be given the login screen. Go ahead and put in, usually it's your student ID and a password. It looks a little bit different for instructors. Go ahead and sign in. And here you're going to want to choose Canvas. Once there, you will see all your different classes. Go ahead and pick our class, in this case, Math 137. Now you're going to find this screen, something similar to this. In order for you to see really the way it's going to look for you, I'm going to go ahead and go into Student View. It's a simplified version of what you saw a minute ago, and here is what you're going to see. Basically, these are called modules. You're going to see a module for each week, and then you're going to find some informational module at the very top. This informational module will not change, and one of the things that you're going to see in it is going to be like the welcome video. Once I'm done with this video, you'll see a link up here for this video, and then the course syllabus, the test dates and times, and the Zoom link for the office hours, and also some help with entering expressions into the homework system that we're going to be using online. So let's go ahead and start by taking a quick look at the syllabus. If you click that, it'll go ahead and load the syllabus for you, which I've created in PDF format. I do recommend you go ahead and download it using this button up here, so that in case there are any connection issues, etc., you still know exactly what's going on in the class every day. So by the way, when you click this double arrow, it fills up to the whole screen and you get a much better view. Now you can zoom using buttons. They're not visible here in this screen, but if you as you see, these same buttons, they move up here when you go ahead and put it in full screen. So you can make it larger or smaller as your eyes may demand. Basically, make sure you go over this entire syllabus because it has information relevant to the entire term. And as far as required items, you're basically just going to need a couple of things. One is a subscription to Math Excel, which is a less expensive relative of MyMathLab. It has all the bells and whistles of MyMathLab, except it's not directly linked to a textbook, but the best of both worlds, in the sense that you will have access to a textbook from within it. So whereas MyMathLab costs over $100 and a physical textbook would cost over $200, the beauty of Math Excel is that it will only cost about $25. So make sure that you understand first and foremost what asynchronous means. This class, as you know, is what's considered asynchronous, which means there are no mandatory face-to-face meetings on Zoom. That does not mean this is a correspondence class. That does not mean this is a self-paced class. I wanted to make sure you understand that from the get-go, because A lot of students, when they hear asynchronous, they make a mistake of thinking, oh, this is self-paced. I can just do whatever, whenever, as I please. That's not the way it works. In all our classes at LAHC and the entire district and any other class in college in California that you choose, they're all going to be online classes, but they're not correspondence classes. The ones that you do whatever you choose, whenever you choose, those are called correspondence classes. These are actually online classes, and in whatever mode they're in, there's still going to be due dates. The pace is set by the instructor. So just as long as we're clear on that, we should have no problem. Do by all means contact me anytime you have any questions whatsoever. I'm very open to helping you out. And I want to make sure we get through this seamlessly. So do contact me anytime you feel confused about any aspect of the class. So the instructions for how to add yourself to the Math Excel system, which is where we're basically going to do everything. We're going to be doing all our homework, all our tests, everything within this Math Excel system. And all of that is at the end of the syllabus. So if you go all the way to the end of the syllabus, you'll find the registration information. It's very simple to do, very straightforward, etc. If you've ever used MyMathLab, this is a simplified version of that, which is really, really nice. I will be holding some Zoom office hours again, because this class is asynchronous, it doesn't mean there's no live support. I'm going to have plenty of opportunities for you to come and get live support directly from me. One time when that's available is during office hours, which are 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. Monday, Tuesdays, Wednesdays. That's the Zoom link right there. And I also have a couple hours available in case you can't make it in this time period. Let me know. We'll try to set something up where we can meet at another time, okay? The other opportunity for you to get help is going to be on, I've written it here for you. If you go to right here, attendance policy. I'm going to hold a 2-hour help session for you on Sundays from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. Again, this is asynchronous, so none of these meetings are mandatory, but they're highly, highly recommended if the class is not proceeding very easily for you. So if you find yourself struggling, you need help, I really strongly recommend that you come and meet me in all the times that I make available for you to meet me face-to-face on Zoom, okay? So the other item that you're going to need other than the Math Excel is going to be a calculator, a very, very handy calculator called ClassCalc, which is the only calculator you'll get to use other than the scientific calculator and another tool called StatCrunch, which are available on Math Excel. But this calculator you will download onto your mobile phone, and on test days you will be putting this into what's called self-lock mode, and it will keep a record of when you go into self-lock mode and when you exit self-lock mode, and it'll give you an opportunity to take a screenshot of that for me. So please make sure you know how to take a screenshot on your phone before the first test arrives. And you will be basically sending me that screenshot along with worksheets showing how you obtained your answers for the test to my email address, which is given to you right here. and I always recommend that you initiate your emails and your contacts with me through the Canvas platform. The fastest response time for contacting me will be through emails. So if you want me to get back to you very quickly, always take the email approach. I check my email several times a day, and I'm very responsive. So make sure that you take advantage of that. All right. Again, here I'm just mentioning that this is not a correspondence class. Please keep a record of all the work you do to get your homework answers. Just like any other class, have a notebook. You can always go over those before tests to get ready. Grading policy. We're going to have a large number of tests, and I'm going to tell you not to feel like that's a scary thing. That's actually a great thing, because that means they're going to be on small chunks of information. So rather than giving you a test on 2 chapters, which becomes overwhelming, I've made small tests on each chapter. The tests are only going to take about an hour. They're like 12 questions each. And as long as you've been doing your homework on a daily basis, which I have paced for you very comfortably, if you follow the pace that I've set for you, you will have no problem on tests, because I basically go shopping into the homework sets and pick the test items from those sets. So if you have been doing your homework, and especially if you do the chapter review homework at the end of each chapter, which I've allowed a couple of days for at the minimum for each chapter, you should be in great shape for taking each of those tests. And then when the time for the final comes, which is cumulative, all you have to do is go over those tests. So I'm not going to throw anything new at you on the day of the final. The final day is just to make sure that you know the basics, right? So if you can handle the 10 chapter tests, you're going to do a wonderful job on the final. And again, the tests are on nice, small, very manageable chunks. So that should work out really nicely, I'm hoping. All right, so do please continue to read throughout this document, because it's basically a contract between you and I. You need to understand all of it. Here I give you an entire page with tips on how to really improve yourself as a student. Like several decades, at least 2.5 decades of experience go into all the material that I've put on this page for you. For instance, a lot of tips that go deep into the nature of learning and understanding. So make sure you take advantage of it, and it'll help you not just in this class, but in every class and in life itself. So please do take some time to read that, and then you'll get to the assignment list, which has basically everything that you're going to do the entire term outlined for you. Okay, so there's no excuse ever to say, oh, I didn't know what you were supposed to do. Well, here, you want to know what day you're going to be doing what? This is the activity, this is the assignment you're going to do on Math Excel. I've made it as simple as it's humanly possible for you. Here I've just replicated this from your schedule, fall schedule, just for your convenience, the special dates, holidays, etc., deadlines, last day to drop with a W, all that stuff. And again, at the very bottom of the document, you will find the Math Excel registrations. And you're basically going to be needing this code, class ID, to be able to register for this class. All right, let's go ahead and exit that and go back to our home page. Anytime you want to get back to the main page, click on home page. Now, in order for me to demonstrate the inbox, if I click it in student mode, it's going to give me an error, because it's just a fake student, right, that it's creating. So, but if I leave student view and go into my own view, I can show you. So if you go ahead and click on inbox, you will click on this compose button to send me a message. Then you can just click select course, go ahead and locate your course, and if you click on this contact card, you'll see you'll want to choose teachers and then choose me. And always, please, in the subject of your email, put your class name, because I have more than one class, and this way I can very quickly locate you and be able to give you an answer for whatever it is that you're inquiring about. So always please put Math 137 in the subject of every email that you send me. All right. Now, the only way that you're going to be able to get back to your class once you're in this mode is either pushing the back button, or you can just click that main home button and then re-enter. Either way. All right, so the next thing that you'll see on here is the Math 137 test. Oh, I see what this wasn't showing up. I hadn't published. Okay, so the next thing you're going to see is the test dates and times. Again, you will have some flexibility on the time, but not on the date. The dates for the tests are set beforehand, okay? So here's when the first test becomes available, and that's when it is no longer available. So basically, you're going to get 24 hours to choose when to do your test, but you get one attempt, and you must stay on the test page while you're taking it. If you exit the test page for whatever reason, it's going to lock you out and you won't be able to continue. This is an anti-plagiarism method that these systems utilize, so that the student doesn't leave the page, try to go get answers, and then come back. So it's extremely important that you pay attention and you stay within the test and finish it in one attempt, please. And the exact same would have been the case if we were in class anyway, so nothing different in that sense. All right, so these are all the dates and times. Again, the time period is flexible. You have 24 hours. You can choose which chunk of those 24 hours you want to sit there and do your 60-minute test. But once you choose it, you have to sit there and finish it in one sitting, okay? So, of course, you want to make sure that you started early enough so you don't hit this due time, because at that time, the system is going to cut you off, period. So give yourself plenty of time, okay? Now, notice I have a practice test. I think I changed the name actually, and I'm calling it not this quiz. I'm calling it practice test anyway. So I'm going to go into my Math Excel and show you in a minute. But I want you to practice with that so that when the test day comes, you're comfortable on that day, okay? And also go ahead and practice class calc before the first test arrives, so that you're comfortable with taking the screenshot, etc. for class calc as well. All right, the next is the Zoom link. You know, I just wanted you to have quick access to this. Remember, this module is always going to be there throughout the whole term. It's not going to move or change. They're all pretty much going to be there. So, but this one in particular will never change. And this will always have the link to the most current version of the syllabus. If I find any errors on the syllabus and I need to change it, I'll always upload the latest version right here. So if ever in doubt, if you have downloaded some previous versions, etc., delete all of those and just go with this, okay? And finally, the last thing on the first module is the Math Excel expression entry help, because when you start typing in the answers, you do all your work, remember, by hand on paper, right? The only thing is you put in the final answer in so you can get some feedback as to whether you got the right answer, etc. We've always encouraged students to check their answers. Well, Math Excel does that for you, right? So you put in the answer and it'll tell you right away if you got it right or wrong. Sometimes it gives you a tip, if you're really close, etc. So it's important to know how to enter expressions efficiently. And if you click on this, it'll take you to a place where you can learn all those little tips and tricks on how to enter the answers into my Math Excel system. Okay? All right. So, and then you go ahead and get into the actual assignment situation. The first chapter, that's just the orientation chapter. It shows you around, how to use the Math Excel system and gives you some tips and tricks on how to do that. Then you're going to notice that you're going to have a PowerPoint lesson followed by a homework set. Make sure you fully study the lesson before you start the homework set. Now, as you hit the first homework link, it's going to take you to Math Excel and ask you to sign in. Obviously, you haven't signed up yet, so this is when you're going to click register. And of course, I have already done this, so I'm registered, so I'm going to go ahead and just log in just to show you. So once that screen comes, you're just going to say, go ahead and enter Math Excel. Now, if you do want to expand this and make it larger, the only way that's going to happen is it's going to take you out of here. I recommend, if you can, handle this view. If you stay in here, you'll get hours credit for how much time you're spending on Canvas. So stay in here. But if you need more room, you can always click that little button there, and that'll just make this full screen. It's going to ask me to sign in again. So I'm going to enter Math Excel. So you're not going to see this down here, but you will have this part up here. Again, if you've seen my MATLAB before, this is a real simplified version of that. And you're going to go ahead and click on homework and tests. And now you're just going to go ahead and start with each assignment and work through it. The first one is that practice test that I was telling you about. Go ahead and click it and work it out. Let me go ahead and just pick one of these chapter 1 sets. Actually, 1 second, let me bring another class up. I clicked on the wrong class. Hold on 1 second. All right, I had clicked on, I had to go into my course manager and change into your class. I was in another one of my classes, so here it is. So here's the practice test. Here's the chapter O homework, the orientation homework. Let me click on one of these regular sets like 1.1. You go in, you start doing the sets. I already tried a couple here just to show you. Just click on one of the questions, like question 1. You answer it. You move on to the next one. Now, sometimes you do a problem and you're not really sure if you are comfortable enough with it. You can say, try again, and it'll give you another problem. So here, for example, select the choice. We want to know which numbers are all of the numbers represented on the number line. Of course, if you remember, that's just a set of real numbers. And you can say check. Excellent. We move on to the next question. Now, as you proceed, you may get to problems where you need some help, right? So if you click on that question help, you see a large number of choices available to you. And I want you to use them pretty much in this order. Notice that if you're familiar enough with the concept and you just need a little bit of support, choose that. I always tell my face-to-face classes, this is like a good tutor as opposed to a bad tutor. So what is a good tutor? A good tutor is one that doesn't actually do it for you. They guide you through the process so that you can get the answer yourself, right? That's what the Help Me Solve This procedure is like. This one is okay only if you have no idea what to do. So maybe you didn't have time to watch the video lecture or something, which is not recommended at all. I always want you to go through the PowerPoint presentation and then watch some lectures before you try to do the homework. Now, many of these will also have a video component. So in case you need more help than what's available on the top there, if you actually click on either the video, which will show you a video lesson for how to get the answer, or if you just click the textbook, that'll take you to the textbook associated with this Math Excel module, and there you can just get more of a in-depth reading than what was available in the PowerPoint presentation. Now, if you also notice here, every once in a while, you're going to get one of these links which are going to take you to either a video or some other component that's available for more support, okay? So you can, again, read these, and as you go on, see, if you click on one of those links, that'll bring you to a video,
and
you
algebra,
can watch a video.
We talk about natural numbers, integers, rational numbers. We have lots of sets of numbers. We're going to talk about the real number system so that we understand what each set means.
Of
Next,
course, you
we'll
can
look at
go
integers.
forward, go backwards.
Next, we have the set of rational numbers.
Here they go over all
Now,
the different
the set of rational
sets.
numbers is a little more difficult to write in
So-
set notation.
Make sure you take advantage of all these amazing tools that are available. In this day and age, there's no excuse for not succeeding other than really not taking advantage of what is available to you. Now, of course, I know some of you live very busy lives, but remember, this is one of those things, education, where you give it a few years of your life and then it'll have your back for the rest of your life, okay? If you read my syllabus in its entirety, I've explained all of this to you, okay? So make sure that you do so, please. All right, so just go ahead and complete the assignments. And when you finish, you're going to, at the end, go ahead and hit submit. And that will go through and register as that set being completed. Again, these do have due dates, and I really strongly encourage you to get them in by the due date. If for some reason an emergency comes up and you don't get to finish by the due date, the first few weeks I'm going to be lenient and I'm going to let you go ahead and go back in and finish it. But definitely try to get them done when they're due, because the problem with math is not doing some every day. The problem is letting it pile up. Then it becomes too much and people give up. So if you don't want that to happen to you, do the sets when they are due, okay? And that's it. It's really simple. So if we go back to our home, and it's not working, so let me just re-log in, no problem. Canvas, let's see. All right, Canvas was having some kind of a short little hiccup there, but here we go. So we're going to go ahead and go back into our class. So I just want to show you it's that simple for the rest of the term. That's all you're going to do. You're going to go over the PowerPoint lecture, then do a set, PowerPoint lecture, and homework set, etc. So very, very simple, very straightforward. I've made it as simple as possible for you. So make sure that you don't let yourself fall behind, and we should have a very, very easy time. Again, as we proceed, at any time that you feel confused, come and get help from me during the office hours here. And also on Sundays, as I was telling you before, if you go to your syllabus and you click on and you follow down till you get to attendance policy, that's where you can see the Zoom session times, 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. on Sundays. Okay, so that pretty much explains the things that I wanted to show you. All right, so I hope that helps reduce some of your anxiety regarding the class. Remember, it's all going to go very smoothly as long as you do what you're supposed to do every day, and I look forward to a great term. So do contact me anytime you feel like you need some help. Okay, I'll see you online.